Funmi Idiagbonya, but very interesting name. She has LLB, which is the Bachelor in Law. She also have LLM, which is the Masters in Law, and LLD, and FICMC. Pardon me if I don't get that correctly, but I think it is Institute of a certification with a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators, and also a certified marriage counselor from the Global Standard Professional Marriage Counseling Institute. She's a legal practitioner with over 15 years of post-call experience. And as I said, she holds a master's and a BSc in law with specialty in intellectual property. She's undergoing a PhD in law. Oh, she has a PhD, sorry. She has a PhD in law with a specialty in intellectual property. Wow. Wow. She's the president of Tabitha Women Initiative, and an initiative born out of a passion for marriage 12 years ago. It is focused on empowering women, particularly married women, and the girl child. She's the group managing director of FEDMAS Group, and vice chairman of the BENMAF College. She's happily married to her friend, and they are blessed with 3 lovely children. Amazing profile. Without much ado, can we put our hands together? You can do an emoji, you can do a physical clap. Can we put our hands together to welcome Madam Funmi? Thank you so much, Ma, for agreeing to do this, and we're super excited. The floor will be yours. If you want to project your slide, please do. But I think we have an interesting audience of over 24 people in the room. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Good evening, Minister Chiedu. Well done, sir. How's the family? Good evening, everybody. Before I would like to say a very big thank you to our father and our mother, Reverend Dr. Sam, and his lovely wife, for giving us this kind of platform where couples can always have a heart-to-heart. It's so thoughtful of them to know that this sort of fellowship is a very crucial part of a church. And I want to say a very big thank you to our executive pastor, Pastor Sunday Adebamiro, for always being supportive of the covenant keepers. And to our Odogu Escos, Minister Mbono and Mrs. Olubumi, you are doing an amazing, amazing, amazing job. Thank you so very much for always putting up different programs to keep the marriage going. It's not an easy thing. Like I always tell people, marriage is an everyday job, and that's the only school where you get a certificate before you even start attending classes. Because either you like it or yes, you have graduated already, and you have to do everything to make sure that you come out in flying colors. That's maybe after 100 years in marriage, in Jesus' name. So this, we're going to try as much as possible to make this interactive. It won't just be me talking, because nobody has sex alone. And before I start, please I'm going to do a sort of Miranda. My legal colleagues will understand what I mean by Miranda. That's like a warning caveat for the people who might be averse to hearing words like penis, vagina. We are Christians, but these are things they are part of a body. Just see it as your vagina is a part of a body, your penis, your breast, they're all parts of your body. And I don't see a reason why we cannot talk about it, at least as a couple. When you are there at night, I'm not there. These are the things we use. So please open up your heart to learn tonight. Like we need to stop being rigid when it comes to sexual matters. What some of you are doing behind closed doors, I don't know why we cannot once in a while now be talking about it. We need to spice this thing up. It's not easy. If you are single in the house, please, so help us. We are going to be saying things that you will need to practicalize after. So please, if daddy is far away or mommy is far away. Okay, so let's get into the matter for tonight. Please, I would appreciate 1 or 2 persons to put on their visuals. It's a class that needs to be visually stimulated. Thank you very much. I'm seeing my minister already, so I don't know where Mrs. Olubumi is, and I need that very soon. Okay, anyway, getting into the crux of the matter.
I'm here, ma.
I know you're laughing behind the scene.
I'm here.
Okay, Okay, so for tonight, we have a very beautiful topic: intimacy in marriage, you and your sex life. The word intimacy on its own already tells us the thing we are about to talk about. But I feel like we over spiritualize sex, and that's why most of us are not getting the benefits that comes with it. When you are supposed to have sex, I sent a video to Mrs. Bumi, I think about 2 days or 3 days back. A man was about to have sex with his wife and he was praying. If you want to pray, please, by all means. But I'm sure, Mrs. Bumi, when you were done watching that thing, I'm sure you said you were already feeling sleepy. You are praying 5 minutes, you are still there praying, Father, as I'm about to enter into this paradise, I pray that you give me energy. Father, I pray that the place I'm about to enter is wet. Uncle, before you are done, Madam has slept. So your prayer, where do you now want to use it? We agree, it's good. Pray. You can, maybe you need the Lord to strengthen you, no problem. Father, I need your strength. You can even say it internally, or you maybe want to hold Madam's hand. But please, 1 second, 2 seconds is okay. Sex is for the body. It is what God has given us as couples to edify our body. So please, we don't need to make it overtly spiritual. Intimacy is, in fact, the Bible is so mindful of what we desire. Now, let's start from Proverbs 19, verse 22a. It defines intimacy as close familiarity or friendship. Mrs. Bumi, please help me with my slides. Okay, so intimacy is defined in the Bible that when you want to be intimate with someone, it means you need close familiarity and friendship with the person. Intimate relationship is very vital in marriage. For you to have an intimacy with somebody, the person you have to have connected. It's beyond, I saw somebody, I like the person, I like her body shape, I like what it looks like, he has mustache. Anybody can have.
You have happy hour. Oh yeah, give me one.
Please, can we mute our microphones? Thank you.
Then 2 biscuits.
Happy hour. Please mute you.
I think that must be an offshoot of me asking that we should get to work and prepare. And please, could you hide your happy hour?
Okay, we're sorry about that. So we continue. So what is intimacy? Originally, the word intimacy is derived from the Latin word intimus, which means innermost or deepest. It means something you feel from within you. You are connected to it. It's something that's burning on the inside of you, and you don't mind sharing it with somebody who now is your partner. Now, the quality of a couple's intimacy is one of the most significant predictors of a healthy relationship. When you have a healthy, intimate life, it will reflect on the kind of relationship you have, either inside or outside.
You're on mute, Ma.
Yes.
I think the host muted everyone. So please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Marriage is not a bed of roses. So don't judge a couple because you always see them frowning. If you see my husband in person, his personality is not one that you ever see smiling anyhow. So I'm sure some people will be like, how is this wife coping? That man with strong face. Forget it though. When we are behind closed doors or when we are around people where my husband can blow on, you'll be wondering, is this not the same man that was? But when it comes to the both of us, if you've been around both of us when we are playing, I think I remember Mr. Komode's children once asked them, one day we were around them, and they were like, are these people couples or brother and sister? That's the kind of compliment you get when you have a very healthy, intimate lifestyle with your spouse. But how do you achieve that kind of intimate lifestyle if every day it is quarrel? Mommy Shade, the pepper in this food is too much, even when the pepper is not plenty. Daddy, you did not give me money yesterday. Then before you know what's happening, you are taking it out on your kids. When you don't have an healthy, intimate relationship with each other, it will reflect on your relationship. And before you know what is happening, it will transcend to your children. A home without a healthy, intimate life will breed toxicity. There's no way you can be intimate with your spouse and you will have room to harbor unforgiveness. There's no way you can have a healthy, intimate lifestyle with your partner and you will see room you will have a room to express, to see her flaws or his flaws. We all have our flaws, but intimacy brings love that covers. And the Bible said, love covers multitude of wrongs. That is the basis of intimacy. So quickly, I'm going to rush to the different types of intimacy that we have. We have social intimacy. That's the Owambe type of intimacy. How many times have you and your partner decided that, oh yeah, let's go to the movies? It is only when you're about to take your children to Wonderland that you get to have a social life. No, it shouldn't be so. Once in a while, both of you buy tickets, even if you are the only one in the movie theater in Silverbed, enter the place, sit down, buy popcorn and Fanta. If that is all you can afford, buy it, sit down. Both of you should be watching the movie. You pick one popcorn, she picks one popcorn. If I tell you the things that happens between unmarried people at the cinema, you'll be shocked and amazed. Then I'm wondering, you that you are married, that God gave you sex to make your marriage beautiful. What are you doing at home? Every time you are doing Netflix and chill at home, we know it is good to do Netflix and chill. But as you are there, Netflix and chilling, children are not, mommy, biscuit, daddy, I want this. They are distracting you. They are not giving you room for you to enjoy, to share that intimacy together. But when you are alone, and I know Papa keeps saying this, that when they just started marriage, he and his wife, they made it an habit to lodge. So don't wait until you have that multi-million naira before you say, me and my wife, we are going to Maldives, we are going to Santorini, no, please. If what you can afford now is one night at a 0-star hotel, by all means, check into the hotel. Just even if it's one night, both of you should feel what it feels like to just be with each other, by each other. Have a heart-to-heart talk, even if it's once in a year. It doesn't have to be something you do every day. I'm sure it won't cost you 5,000 naira to enter Wonderland. Enter a ride together. The fun is not for children alone. Spice up your marriage. Those are the things that makes your intimacy to grow. We also have another one, which is physical intimacy. Now, with physical intimacy, you get to hug your partner, you get to cuddle, and it can transcend to kissing and some other things. Although I wouldn't want to jump ahead of myself by saying any other thing that physical intimacy can lead into, because we are coming there gradually. Another type of intimacy is spiritual intimacy. I am very, very concerned with this spiritual intimacy. Now, the book of Amos, sorry, 1 minute. Mrs. Olubumi, what is happening with my slides?
I'm sorry, ma. I'm having some issues on my own end, but please just give me a few minutes. My husband will still come. He will soon come back. He's my technical guy. No, please bear with me.
Send it to me on WhatsApp. Send it to me on WhatsApp.
Okay,
Let me see if I can.
I'll do that now, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so on spiritual intimacy, sorry about that, the slides will come up shortly. On physical intimacy, the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14 was very specific when it instructed us that we should not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. An unbeliever does not necessarily mean someone that commits sin. As a Christian, a Muslim does not believe in my religion. Neither do I believe in their own religion. So if you get married to a Muslim, how do you get to share a spiritual intimacy with that person? You believe Jesus died and rose after 3 days, but that is different from what the person believes. So how do we bring our children up to believe in one thing? And do not forget, a house divided against itself, the Bible said it shall not stand. So you have a home where the husband is a Muslim. Please, this is by no means talking down on people that have such relationships and it is working for them. I'm not in any way saying it is wrong. I'm just trying to tell us that it can cause a bit of disunity when both of you do not have an agreement. And don't forget, Bible also told us that can two work together? I think that's in Amos. Can two work together except they agree? So if both of us do not agree that Jesus is Lord, our spiritual intimacy is going to have a big issue. And when Jesus Christ is supposed to be the foundation of your marriage, both of you do not have the same belief in him. I don't know how that is going to work, honestly. But if you have it working, I'm happy for you. And please, whatever you are doing that is making it work, please hold on to it and continue steadfastly in it. Okay, so I'll be moving quickly to emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy is a must-have in marriage. With emotional intimacy, it means you totally trust this person with your feelings. When you feel like crying, you feel like ranting, you are happy, you are sad, this is a person, this is your go-to person. There are some of us that will have that kind of relationship with other people outside our spouse. I believe you should start first with your spouse. But we all have unique relationships. So, but the appropriate thing is to have that with your spouse. When you have an emotional intimacy with your spouse, a lot of things can happen in one instant when you feel like crying and you just call your spouse, honey, can you imagine what just happened? And you are free to unburden because you know that you are connected with this person and the person is going to listen to you without judging. Even if the person at that point feels like you are wrong, but no, they got your back. You have that emotional bonding with the person. So we have those 4 different types of intimacy. Can somebody quickly unmute and show their face and tell me, out of these 4 types of intimacy, spiritual, physical, emotional, and social, which of them do we really think is most vital in marriage? I can call name of anybody. I'm seeing plenty names on my screen. I'm seeing Mommy Abiola Johnson, but no, I will not call Mommy because our Mommy has been there. So she knows the answer already. It's not easy to be 35 to 36 years in marriage, so I will not call Mommy. I'm seeing plenty names. Say, please, let somebody quickly tell me which of these 4 types of intimacy they think is most vital in marriage.
I will try to answer.
Okay.
I will try. Emotional and spiritual.
One day, one day. Okay, thank you. Who else wants to try? Or who has another opinion? Not try. Who has another opinion?
I can come in here. I think all of them are very important, right? But we could prioritize some over the others. I think spiritual intimacy for me is it because, yeah, we've become one and we want to achieve that goal together. Then, of course, emotional intimacy. But all of them are very important with no exclusion of anyone.
Thank you so very much, sir. Mr. Honest Philip, do you want to give it a try? Good evening, sir.
Okay, good evening, Ma. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
For me, I think all of them are important. I'm just trying to itemize or prioritize to see which one I can put on top of the rest. But if I'll pick one, I think I'll go with spiritual. And the reason being is because, you know, if you can get it right spiritually, then you can agree on every other thing, physically, emotionally, and all. So I think that's my take. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Honest Philip. God bless you so much. Thank you. Honestly, we cannot dispute the fact that spiritual intimacy is number 1 on the list. Can 2 work together except they agree? So it means that you people have to agree first before you start that journey. It is after you have agreed that, oh, me and you spiritually, we have somewhere we are heading to. Then physical intimacy can come in. You hold your hands and start walking, right? It's from holding hands that you start discovering that, oh, this person, I'm getting emotionally attached. I can share myself. I can share my body in the way I feel. I can share with this person. Okay, my auntie has a name. Yeah, let's go. Then social intimacy comes in. So spiritual intimacy is the background of all other intimacies. So when you have somebody that you both have deep connection spiritually, every other everything will flow. Thank you so much to my contributors. I'm seeing all the names that are active, and I will give gifts after this session. So if you like, do not participate. So straight on to sexual intimacy, which is why we are here. Now, this is emotional intimacy is the bedrock of a good sexual intimacy. I'm sure in different instances, you heard people say, I no longer feel anything for my partner. I'm sure you've heard it before from your friends when they complain about, I don't feel like touching my wife. Oh boy, what's up now? Somehow, I just don't feel emotionally connected to her anymore. Some people say, I fell out of love with him. When you start hearing things like that, it is because there is no longer emotional connection between a couple. So, sexual intimacy cannot happen when there is no emotion. In fact, you will feel irritated. Somebody that you don't have feelings for, the person is trying to touch you. Somehow you're just doing as if ants is walking on your body. That is how bad it is when you don't have emotional connection with somebody, when you don't have emotional intimacy with somebody. When you have a healthy emotional intimacy, then your sex life will be the bomb. So just in case you have not bought Madam that ice cream she requested for today, you might be out of emotional connection with her. That's what you know, how to reach your partner. Me, I know how to catch my husband when he is angry. Do you know how to catch your own spouse when he's angry? That is a high level of emotional intimacy with your spouse. It is not all the time, honey, lie down. Oh yeah, put off the lights. Open your leg. If the person is not connected to, they will only see sex as a chore, not as something to look forward to. And when your partner is not looking forward to sex, I don't know. I've never had a taste of it, so I can't even describe what it will feel like to have sex with a partner who isn't emotionally connected. And I'm not sure it is something anybody should experience in marriage. And that's why we are here tonight. So how do you build sexual intimacy with your partner? I'm different. So is Minister Chiedu. So is Mommy Abiola. Everyone here, we are all different. But one thing that is common for every one of us is the fact that we all have a need. Where you come in is discovering your partner's need, and now sexually. For you to have a good sexual intimacy, both the couples, they must feel comfortable enough with one another. I have an issue with the word comfortable, and that is because of the things I've seen, both as a lawyer, as a marriage counselor, and as a mediator. I have heard so much with this, my ear, that some people are talking. I'm like, Holy Spirit, help me. Because I can't even understand how they got to that point. Your partner does not feel safe talking to you. They don't feel safe removing their clothes in your presence. When you married her, she was a size 6. She was a size 6. Le palomo, slim, shape, figure 8, intact. But you've been married 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. She has birthed kids. Okay, let's even assume she hasn't given birth, but maybe people are trying to conceive. She's on different hormonal injections to get pregnant. And you expect that that kind of woman will remain in the same size and shape that you met her in. And then the time she removes clothes, you are like, see how fat you become, my friend, hit the gym. We throw words flippantly. You don't know that you are sowing a seed in your partner's mind. And then when it's time to have sex, you want her to not lie down in bed and be looking at you and say, honey, yeah, come to me. No, it won't happen. Your partner needs to be comfortable enough to share what he or she desires with you. Once you're able to achieve that, it is easy for you to connect. If I'm able to tell you, honey, I don't like kissing. And you take it as, oh, why don't you like kissing? Eh? And you know that is the only thing I like when it comes to sex. That is what you like, but your partner does not like it. Have you tried to find out why don't you like it? Could it be because you had maybe have past relationship, the way the guy kissed her or the way the girl kissed him? he didn't like it. He had a very horrible, maybe the person even decided to bite their lips. And since then, they don't look forward to kissing anymore. Have you thought about that? The fact that if you talk about it, you can help your partner overcome it. Your partner needs to feel comfortable enough to share their innermost thoughts with you without getting judged. Secondly, we must be able to relax to enjoy each other. All still boils down to emotional connection. If I'm able to relax in your hand, I will blossom. But for women, we have so many things on our mind. So, daddy, if you wake up in the morning and your wife says, honey, please take out the trash while I do this, and you're like, is it not the duty of a woman to do it? Or your husband is stepping out, you know he's already late. That is the time you remember to call him back. Honey, please, I need money for soup. Mommy, what were you doing all through the night? That man came back, he had his meal, he had his bath, laid on the bed. You did not remember to pull his beard and say, oh, Alpha, I know you've had a long day, but please, I need money. It is when he's done dressing, that is when you come and start at the door. Daddy, the money I asked you for, this, and then you pick a quarrel and spoil his whole day. And then he comes back at night and you start touching him. I want sex. His penis will not stand though. It will not stand. Neither will mommy's vagina be wet for you to enter. It will not happen. If you have quarreled in the morning, like I always tell people, if you want to praise in the night, start worshiping in the morning. Worship is to praise, as foreplay in the morning is to sex at night. And foreplay is, it is not, don't think foreplay is only when you start sucking her breast, you start, no. You start foreplay with a woman's brain since morning, if you know you want it at night. In the morning, but even before she will say, honey, I need, my baby, Alpha, what do you need today? Once my husband starts saying, honey, what do you want me to do for you today? I know what's going on later in the night. And they don't bomb me well, say I don't collect that in the morning. You now say, honey, oh yeah, let come and do. I will not say I'm not doing. Possible. You cannot, no, you cannot. It's not you don't do that kind of thing. Now that is God, even God will not be happy with you. So if you want to praise at night, please start to worshiping in the morning. Assist each other. Throw a bit of compliments here and there. Appreciate your partner. Make them happy. Buy gifts. It's not every time that they will buy you gifts. We all know what is happening. But we know that our declaration in TTC is when others are saying there's a casting down, our testimony will be that there's a lifting up. But at the same time, Papa told us that we should save. So, mommy, that is not every time you expect that mommy will always buy you gift because gift is your love language. This period will not be buying gift every time, but at least we will spice it up. Once in a while, buy gifts, buy ice cream, visit your husband at work, bring in food. Please, if it's not a professional meeting, don't say it's Auntie Funmi that say you should go and visit your husband in the office. Then you now see him in a professional meeting and start saying, but I came to visit you, did not give me room. No, please, that is not how it is done. You should let your spouse know you are coming. So moving on, we are getting into the heart of sex. So please, let's open our hearts to receive this. But let me tell us something. God gave us sex in marriage for pleasure. And I'm also going to let us know that God gave us 4 principles to honor sexual intimacy. And number 1 is the fact that sexual intimacy in marriage is for God's glory. When I say sexual intimacy is for God's glory, we look at the book of Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4. And it says, marriage be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure. For God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral. Sex is made for you and your spouse to honor God. And that is why it is specifically said in the Bible that marriage should be honored by all. You and your spouse. That is how God has made marriage. It is for God's glory. So when you are having sex, the prayer you want to pray before it's like tautology, because God already knows that this is why I made this thing. So go, you have his blessings. When God said, be fruitful and multiply, he already gave you the instruction to go ahead with sex. Because there's no way you can be fruitful and multiply without first having sex. It's just like you put pot on the fire, you do not put fire under it. the food will not cook. So God knows that the only way that your meal will get done is when you put fire under the pot. So God already said, be fruitful and multiply. So God is aware that you want to have sex with your spouse. Another thing is sexual intimacy unites couple. Now, when we look at Mr. and Mrs. Tim and Katie Keller wrote in their book, The Meaning of Marriage, they said sex is the most powerful tool God created to keep and help our marriage stay together. Sex is God's appointed way for two people to reciprocally say to one another, I belong permanently to you. Even when you are telling each other, I love you, I love you, I love you. Sometimes, even in the midst of anger with each other, you see that because it has become a daily thing that you people say to each other, I love you, bye-bye. But when it comes to sex, because of the spirituality and emotional connection that comes with it, once you lie down on that bed, you are telling your husband, you are telling your wife, I surrender myself to you totally. I belong to you permanently. And that is why the Bible is not happy with adulterers, because how many people are you surrendering your body to? You connect with this one, you connect with this one. I don't your heart is in everywhere. Then when you are having sex with your spouse, you are imagining the body of Sister Christy. You are imagining how Brother Taye is the one touching you. That is not God's design for marriage. God wants it to be between you and your spouse. In Genesis chapter 2, there's a record for us that Adam and Eve could stand before each other completely naked and not ashamed. I spoke about this earlier, and it still remains the fact that, please, for no reason, please, can everybody hear me? Okay. For no reason should you body shame your spouse. For no reason, either the man or the woman, for no reason should anyone body shame each other. I love you, you love me. I'm seeing kids somewhere there. Okay. For no reason should anyone body shame each other. Love your spouse the way they are. If you feel like there's a reason for your spouse to shed weight, there's a way you can tell your spouse without them feeling attacked. Without them feeling attacked. Finally, thank you so much. Welcome, ma. There's a way you can tell somebody to go to hell, and they will look forward to that journey.
I'm sorry.
No problem, ma. No problem. Please allow your partner to be free with you if you want to have a good, healthy sexual intimacy. Another thing for God to know that God instituted intimacy for marriage is the fact that intimacy in marriage is to be the other person oriented. The day we all know that sex is for my partner, we'll have a healthy sexual life. What do I mean by other oriented? You know that your partner takes 3 hours to get to reach orgasm. It is your duty to ask him or her, honey, how do I help you get to that point? Stop making sex about you. The reason why you would reach orgasm and you will leave your partner and sleep and face the wall is because you have made sex all about you. I've heard it countless times. Most divorce cases that I've heard, that or marriages that have handled and counseled or mediated, there is no out of 100%, I would say 99.9% of them, they must mention sex. They don't have sexual satisfaction. I have a friend personally. She's been married 16 years. Her husband has never made her reach orgasm once. And you want that woman to be happy. I'm sure people are wondering why we should not be happy. Is it not just sex? I'm coming. I will tell you why she will not. 1,001 reasons why she will not be happy. Make sex about your partner. If you know that, please, this is by no means talking down on men that come in 2-3 minutes. It's not, might be a medical condition, but it is not out of place if you come 2 to 3 minutes. It could be due to stress and a lot of other things. But what are you doing before that time to help your wife get to the point where she will also have an orgasm? Don't ejaculate and then sleep and face the wall. Uncle, it is not appropriate. Even God is not happy with you. If it is not good, it is not good that a man should come and leave his wife hanging. Neither is it good that a woman should come and leave her husband hanging. It is a taboo. Know it today and have peace. Have peace. That sex, Minister God, I don't know why you are laughing, but it's the truth, the absolute truth. It's the absolute truth. Sex is the other person oriented. Less selfishness when it comes to sex. Less selfishness. It is a taboo, please. Even if it's that you have already orgasmed and then you realize that your partner is hanging, there are ways you can still assist your partner to orgasm. There are benefits to when a woman or a man reaches orgasm. When you see a man or a woman glowing, every time you see the person is glowing, the person is coming. Oh. That's the secret. Forget organic body cream. Forget maybe they are taking supplements. A woman that glows is a woman that comes. And a man that is always happy, you ask him something, he's giving you something, it's because it's always coming. When you come, you will be happy, you will glow. I'm being very serious. Like everyone, I'm saying it jokingly, but that is the absolute truth. When you come together, you stay happy together. Now, to the last one, we're going to move fast to factors that can impact a couple's sexual life. Number one, because we are not ignorant of the fact that it is not every time we will be in the mood to have sex. So, what are the factors that can impact a couple's sexual life? Number one is responsibilities. In fact, I need to say a special prayer for all our men. Women, I'm saying a prayer for you too, but the Bible said the man is the head of the family and it is his duty to provide for his family. In fact, the Bible went ahead to say a man that does not provide for his house is worse than an infidel. I know that is in the Bible. So I'm going to say a special prayer for our men, that God will help them to carry these responsibilities. With the way things are going in this country, it takes only the grace of God for our men to survive and bring home food every blessed day. So I appreciate all our men in the house, and I pray that God will continually bless you all. You will never lack. As you are going out and coming back, to be bringing plenty money home in Jesus' name. Amen. So when a man has lots of responsibilities, don't forget that a man's responsibilities is not only to his family. Yes, it is first to his family, but he still has his own family. The wife's family too, they are there dragging him for money to renovate family house. His younger ones are there. He's at work. His boss is requiring so much of him. Maybe you also as a couple, you have projects going on. All of this is on the man's shoulder. Yes, women, we are helping, but please, right now I'm focusing on men. When a man has a lot of responsibility, and imagine that most of them are not met, trust me, it will affect his sexual performances. We need to face reality. Sex is sweet, yes, but there are things that can make us not even think about it. So when a man does not have money in his pocket, my people will say, oh, Lord, when a man has money, happily, we can lie down and sleep, have sex, sleep for 3 hours because all bills are sorted. So responsibility can affect a man's performance in the bedroom. Another thing is lack of interest. Most times this comes from the woman. When they say, when you touch her today, I'm not in the mood. Tomorrow, I'm not in the mood. I need men to also understand that women have issues, particularly because of the way our cycle is. Our menstrual cycle holds and brings so much along with it. Today we are happy. Please accept us the way we are. It's not our fault though. Today we are happy. Tomorrow we don't want you to touch us. Next tomorrow we just want to eat all day. And another day we just want to be by ourselves. Another day we are chit-chatting. Hormones plays a very large role in a woman's life. You can say that some women close to their period, they don't even want to hear the word sex. But when you have emotional intimacy, maybe a bit of cuddling can go a long way. Intimacy does not necessarily have to end in sex. Just cuddle, hug, reassurance that, baby, I've got you. Baby, I'm here for you. They can go a long way. So even if A woman that does not have sex, but you cuddle her and you are saying, honey, I've got you. I know you don't want sex, no problem, but can I just cuddle you? Can I hug you? You don't even know what the door that can open from you saying, honey, I've got you. From not wanting you, she can blossom and say, honey, I feel connected. From then, she will turn and face you. Before you know what's happening, you are kissing. And before you know what is happening, the bed is shaking. So when a woman lacks interest in sex, don't say, I know that is how you are always rigid. You don't want to find out why. Communication is very important. So when you communicate with your partner, you have emotional, and she's free to discuss with you without you saying, that is the same thing you did yesterday, but not the man she bet. It is all the time you used to do. She will not tell you. And the lack of interest will continue because you don't understand. You are not connecting to her. Another thing is use of certain medications. If you have a partner on antidepressants, antihypertensive, and some other set of drugs, it can affect their sexual performances. And please, when you know that your partner is on some of these drugs, what you should do is not to be forcing him to, on your side, you have come, you have not even started. Please, we don't want your partner to be going when you are thinking he's coming. Don't keep pushing him. I need to come. We know you need to come, mommy, daddy, we know you need to come. But please, let them relax. We don't want to come and from bed to grave in Jesus' name. It will not happen, no. So please, let us know that these drugs, some of them can lead to all of this. You might want to seek medical help. Some people are saying there is no sound. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know if I don't know if it's from me or from
I think no, it's not from you. I think it's probably will be their issue. I'm responding to them on chat. Go ahead, Ma.
Okay. All right, sir. So please, if your partner is on that, please don't force them. If it's only 1 minute they can do, we are going to get to a point where I will tell you other things that you can do to see that your partner remains alive and yet you have a good and healthy sexual life. So another thing that can happen is that can impact a couple's sexual life is routine. Every day you want to have sex, you enter your bedroom. Mommy, off the lights, lie down, and that is it. Kilo shele, what happened? What happened to your kitchen? Please don't laugh. What happened to your balcony? You are living in a 4-bedroom apartment. The only place that has seen you do anything is on your bed. Even in the room that you have chair, you have dressing mirror, you have table. But all of them, what they do is just to be looking at you when you are doing it. Mommy, what happened to you sitting on the table and daddy entering from the back? What happened? Kilo shele gangan. It is only missionary style that 2 of you are doing. Kilo de. Why? If it's only missionary, me, I will not be looking forward to it. We need to spice up our bedroom. Spice it up. Don't be doing mommy and daddy missionary. Even in the Garden of Eden, we don't even know what they did say. So why do you want to kill your spouse with missionary? Okay, so when you are pregnant, is it missionary you will do? Don't kill baby for me, Hey, please don't. If I'm during pregnancy, you are advised to use doggy style. See, you people are going to hear it the way it should be. We are couples and we need to do all these things. Marriages are crumbling, and the first thing people will mention, let me tell you 2 things that people complain the most about when they come for mediation: finance and sex. Those 2 things, they are like twins in marriage. Finance and sex. And when the man says, but I used to give you money, you say, but how many times do we even have sex in a month? And then you are wondering, man, is it the money that is the issue or the sex? But because they are too shy to even admit it, they will say, he is the 2. I've seen all these judges that do these court shows. We've heard where one said, we don't have sex, and I don't want a marriage without sex. Dissolve this marriage. As a matter of fact, when your marriage is not consummated, is a ground for divorce under the law. That is how important sex is in marriage. It's a ground for dissolution. So, Joe, spice up your bedroom. We are coming to that point. So let me not jump ahead of myself. Another thing is dirtiness and unhealthy lifestyle. Daddy, you are coming from sites. From sites, as you are coming with sweat, straight to bed. Hey, Joe, please stop it. If you have been doing that, please stop it today. I'm begging you. Mommy, after cooking a goosey soup with garlic and onions, everything smelling in your body, straight to bed. Please, I will send police to arrest you. I will chase you in your dream from today. At least 2 times in a day, in the morning before you go out and at night before you sleep. Bath. Please, pity your spouse. Even if you don't mind the way you are smelling ogiri, you are smelling upe and stockfish, no problem. We know you like it. But please, for the sake of your spouse, wash your hair. Your wig that you have been using for 3 months, wash it. Daddy, shave your armpits. You want blow job, but the hair is down on your vagina. It can be enough to do attachments. Please shave it. If you know that if your spouse likes it hairy, no problem. You can barb style, barb more, design it, but keep it clean. Hairs have a way of trapping sweat. And when they trap sweat too much, the smell that will be oozing out of it. When you enter buses and you are perceiving some things in the bus, sometimes it is not just the wig, it is from down below. Your pants, Daddy has been begging you to wash that 4 pants that you soak in the toilet. 1 month you have not soaked it. What kilo they wash it, mommy? Daddy, that boxers, 4 months you have been wearing it. You refuse to change it. Kilo shele. How much is boxers? If you cannot buy new one, enter where they are selling bend-down select. It is not a crime. But please, we need to change our lifestyle. We need to stop being dirty. You can't expect your spouse to come to bed looking all tattered. No matter how tired, drag yourself and take a shower. When you smell, in fact, I said I was going to come with perfumes. I have the perfume that they wrote nights. It's only at night that I use them. After bathing, I spray small. It's not the kind of spray that chokes your. No. Mild perfumes. Just put tiny like this. Smell good. Smell edible. When you get to bed, even if your husband was tired, the way you will arouse him with those good smells or more. Please, we can do better as a couple. Another thing is, I mentioned this one about constant quarrels. If you're always quarreling, there will be no room for you to bond. And when there is no bonding, there can be sex. Another thing is unpleasant past sexual experiences. If your partner has been a victim of rape, a victim of sex abuse, a victim of molestation, it can impact your sexual life. Because every time you want to have sex, the memories of what they've been through comes back to them. I have had an unpleasant past sexual experience, but it's not sexual. Mine had to do with childbirth. When I had my first child, I had placenta accreta, and they had to do manual removal of placenta for me. I went to heaven and came back, literally. That's, they had to wear elbow-length gloves that got this far and had to manually dip hand into my cervix to bring out the placenta. And for a long time, I could not even imagine anything entering my vagina without me thinking that it was another thing that was about to cause pain for me. So if I didn't have a husband that was understanding, gladly, thank God he was there with me. He was there with me all through in the hospital. So he saw everything. So that made it even more relatable for him. Even him, it was difficult for him to even say, let us start having sex, because the mental picture was still with him. That's why sometimes I recommend that men should follow their wives into labor room. When you see what your wives are going through, it will be difficult for you to say your wife should come back and resume sex after 2 days because you want to have sex. Sex is good, but understanding your partner is very, very, very vital. A woman that has just given birth and you already expect her to come back to bed and you say, if you don't have sex, I will go and look for somebody else to assist me. Uncle be going, it's in your eyes already, we know. It is not because your wife cannot give you sex. She has not even healed. Medically, a woman is not supposed to resume sexual activities until after 6 weeks postpartum. But because of your selfishness, you want her to resume having sexual intercourse immediately when her body has not even healed. So unpleasant past sexual experiences can also affect our sexual life. So we are moving fast into the benefits of sexual intimacy. Thank God Mr. Barr and Mrs. Bumi has helped me with this part very well. I saw she has done justice to this, so I won't spend too much time on the benefits of sexual intimacy. She posted some things on the platform that I'm sure that most of us have read. Sexual intimacy, when you have good sex, it can keep your immune system in check. Your body begins to produce antibodies that helps to fight off diseases and virus. That's how good sex is. So your uncle, you're always having infection. You need to ask you how many times you used to have sex. Mommy, you're always having cold. That is because you have not been having sex. Start having sex today and say bye-bye to all those things. Now, sex builds libido. The more you have an orgasm, when you have an orgasm, you want to have more orgasms because you keep replaying the one you had the last time in your brain, and it stimulates you to want to have more. So someone that lacks sex could be because that lacks interest, could be because they haven't been having sex often. So try and increase the number of times you have sex. It also enhance your libido. Now, sexual when you have sex often, good sexual life also improves a woman's bladder control. Because if you have sexual incontinence, mommy, before you sneeze, pee is already falling in your pants. You laugh too much, pee is because you have cervical incontinence. And when you have sex, there's a way you squeeze. I'm not teaching how to have sex this night, but when you're having sex, there's a way you squeeze your cervix, and it helps. It's like a Kegel movement, as if you are trying to hold pee. It will help a woman to have good bladder control. Sex also helps lower blood pressure, and it also counts. Please, if you are on BP meds, have sex often. It will help you control blood pressure. Now, sex counts as an exercise. If ordinarily you go to the gym for 30 minutes, now let me tell you the number of calories you burn per minute when you have sex. You burn 5 calories per minute when you're having sex. So please, mathematicians in the house, imagine you get to have sex 30 minutes. I don't know, please, I don't know if our men do up to 30 minutes, but let's say on the average, let's say 15 to 30 minutes, and you get to burn 5 calories per minute when you're having sex. So let's say if you do 30 minutes, that's about 150 calories gone. Woo! That's a whole lot. So please, instead of going to pay 40,000 for gym membership, how about to dash mommy 40,000 and only take yourself for shopping, and she's back from shopping, you grab her waist, and then you do the thing. So okay, yeah, somebody's saying menopause. Yes. Okay, all right, I'll attend to that when I'm done later. So now sex lessens pain. If you're always having headache, you don't need Panadol. You don't need or menstrual pain. You don't need Panadol. What you need is Penisdol. Call your husband if he's around. Have a good round of sex. Now, let me tell our women a secret that they don't even know. When you have menstrual cramps and your period is refusing to come, or maybe like you are a day or 2 days to the period and you're having cramps, let me tell you the best medicine to stop that cramp. Have good sex. Not just have good sex. Make sure that she has an orgasm. Try it and come and thank me later. Don't say I didn't do anything for you this night though. Have sex. Come and thank me later. Come and tell me what you experienced. Now, let me tell you, I'm going to give another tip. First, I'm giving the glory to God. Then I'm going to tell you something. All my 3 children, I didn't have a tear. The glory belongs to God. And not because I didn't have big babies. At least the least kg of my babies was 3.5. But I didn't have a tear. I'm going to tell you this secret. Put it in your left hand for those who are still in the giving birth stage. I have sex till the day I give birth. I mean, like, in fact, I think the last one I still had sex on the morning of the day I went into labor. Now, when you have sex constantly, it helps your vagina to it is already expanded. So when the baby is coming, it's not forcing its way out of your vagina. So because you are pregnant, uncle is saying, honey, I'm honey. You say, do you want to hurt the baby's head? It is not, no matter how long a penis is, it cannot touch your baby inside your womb. Please let us stop all that. You want to hurt the baby. The baby is protected by your cervix, by your womb, by the amniotic fluid. Mommy, open your legs. It is to your advantage. When your vagina has already dilated from constant sex, what is left for the baby to come and be pushed through again? Please have sex. It is for your own benefit. It's not my own. No. When you are enjoying the benefits, I will not know. Another thing is it may decrease your risk of prostate cancer. So frequent erections are linked to reducing the risk of prostate cancer. I think it's even said that a man is supposed to ejaculate 21 times in a month. That is, I don't know how true that is, but medically they said a man should orgasm at least 21 times in a month. I personally know that that is not feasible. When it's not, if no matter how often a man wants to have sex, I don't think 21 times is possible, but at least you can do close to it. Even if it's 15 times, that means at least in 30 months, in a month that has 30 days, you are having sex at least a day off every 2 days. It's not bad now. Somebody that you love, every time she removes her clothes, her body is turning you on. 2 days here interval is not too much to have sex. So if you orgasm 15 times in a month, uncle, mommy, how do you see it? Another thing is when you release, it improves your sleep. I don't know, that is women, this is what used to make us angry the most. Yes, after we have made our daddy have come, they will face the wall and sleep. They will leave us. They will leave us. It's not their fault though. It's the hormones that the body releases that makes them sleep. But men, I want you to know that men, women too, we need to sleep. After all the chores and everything during the day, we will not come and still labor, do everything on the bed, and we will not still come. It is not good. It is not ideal. It is not godly. Make sure that your woman comes so that she too can have sound sleep. Another thing is it eases stress and regulates your mood because your body releases dopamine, which is a happy hormone. Have you ever seen a woman that will wake up in the morning, I will say, honey, good morning, thank you for yesterday. He did not give her money. Oh. He gave her something better than money. It's something money cannot buy. Okay, money can actually buy. Okay, we'll get to that part. But a woman gets up in the morning, they have gates man, but she's the one washing her husband's car. Something happened yesterday night. A man woke up. He has ever done breakfast in bed for himself. He went downstairs, went and did toast, bread and tea. Honey, take food in bed. There's something that happened yesterday night that nobody is telling us. So when you are happy, you are ready to go all out. Sex can do that for you. Another thing is mental health benefits. So anyone that has sex often, they are stable mentally. You don't get to the office and then your secretary is opening ties for you and you won't see it. It's only someone that is sexually starved, sexually deprived, that sees that a girl's nipple is standing at work. I'm sure some of them is even a mental image that they just have in their brain. It's possible it's not even happening. But because you haven't orgasmed in a long time, everything looks like sex to you. And before you know what is happening, you jokingly hit your secretary's bum. And the next thing is lock the door, see me inside my office. You jokingly see your male colleague. There is nothing happening, he does not have erection, but somehow your eyes are fixed below his trousers, below his belt. If you have good sex, you are stable mentally. Even when a man is about to talk to you, what do you have to offer me? My husband already did a good job. You will call, your boss is saying, if you don't have sex with me, I will not promote you. Be like, Funmi, my husband is doing a better job. I've seen people quit their job because their boss is offering sex, and they're like, but Funmi, my husband is fucking. I'm not in need of sex. If it's a job, let him keep it. If you have a good sexual life, you are mentally balanced and you know when to say no and when to say yes. They say a man fell into temptation. You did not fall. It's because there's a vacuum that needed to be filled. If your vacuum if there's no vacuum, there is nothing to fill. A bottle that is filled with water, where else you want to put water inside? No space. Fill your partner's bottle daily, as often as possible. Now we're going deep into the sexual phase. Now, before you have sex with your woman, be sure she's ready. So we get first to the excitement phase. You are the one that knows your partner. You are the only one that knows what can excite your partner. For me, okay, I will not say for me, I will not personalize it. But your wife responds to you playing with her breast. Men have erogenous zones too. Their ears, their nipples. Some men are stimulated from their nipples and their thighs. Every other place, some is their neck, some is their head. So both of you are seated watching TV. It could even, your excitement phase doesn't have to start in your bedroom. And this is very important. Don't let your excitement phase start in your bedroom. If it starts in your bedroom, it will be boring because it is the usual touch your head, next thing you are penetrating. But imagine you go on a date, and while you are there, for women that don't mind to be exhibitionist, she goes with a short dress. Please, if you are going on dates, don't wear buba and a robe with your husband. Daddy, when you are going on dates, it is not a time to wear senator two-piece outfit with cap. No, except you are going for a professional occasion. If you are going out with your spouse, please be as casual. Wear three-quarter. Mommy, be free with your spouse. You can. I wear bomb shorts with my husband. If it's just the two of us, we are going out. Wear bomb shorts. Be sexy for your husband. That is what those men are seeing outside. Please, that is by no means me saying this is a reason for men to cheat. No, 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 no. But if this is what your husband is seeing outside, you are his wife. What is stopping you from being from giving him something to feed on at home? Sometimes I used to pity my husband. It's only God that can help that man. My husband will say, the way I've made the naked body tire him, that it does not think any other body, it does not look forward to seeing another body. Once I'm behind my door in my bedroom, my children must not do mistake and enter. You are no, 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 no. I'm naked and not ashamed. Naked we came, naked we shall go. And when we are going out, if you see me outside, if you are my church member, please, if you know that you don't like a woman looking hot, don't greet me, because you'll be shocked and amazed. So far, my husband is beside me. I don't dress like that alone. When I'm going on a date with my husband, I am hot. So I want to see the girl that wants to be hotter than me beside my husband. It's not even possible. I give him things to look at when we're on a date. Don't wear body covering things, so that your husband has if he's sitting beside, let him be able to put hand inside your clothes. Let him be able to rub your lap. You are not Hadia. Show him your body. It will men feast on what they see. That is what arouses them. It is what a woman hears as you're touching her lap. Honey, this your lap is very fresh. I wish I can get inside. And please, if you are outside, nothing is telling you that you must get them before you have sex. If there is toilet where you are, feel free to manage the toilet. That is part of what we are saying. Break routine. If your car is tinted and is in a very dark car park, use it. Have fun. So that when people want to gist, you say, you remember that day that police almost caught on when we were having sex in the car? Adventure spices up your marriage. You have things to gist about. It is not every time behind the closed door. You now be looking, waiting for the children to go and sleep. Have they gone to bed? No, if my children don't go to bed, they're on their own. No, I will on TV, put volume. They cannot hear anything. When we are outside, anywhere, that if you are not someone that is open to that, please, before you try that, make sure your partner consents to it. Both of you are in agreement that it is okay for the both of you to do. But if your partner is not someone if your partner is someone that is shy and reserved, if your partner is not like me, please wait till you get home. But at least let your excitement phase, let it start from outside. Then it can now trickle down to your bedroom. So at the excitement phase, at this point, your wife is already getting wet, her nipples are standing, and uncle already has erection from the things he's seeing, from touching his wife, from cuddling outside at the cinema, from kissing, and you can't wait to do something. You can't wait to have sex. Now that's the excitement phase. Sharply, we'll go to the pleasure state. This is the phase where the woman's nipple gets extra hard and they are bigger, and her vagina starts getting wet and dripping. At this phase, you can penetrate anywhere you are. The Lord will help you. But when you don't penetrate a woman until she's wet, otherwise you get to injure her. And when you injure your wife, I'm sure for the next 2 weeks until that place heals up, uncle no show for you. So wait until your wife is dripping before you even think of penetration. And please do not rush into penetration. I say this because by the time a man penetrates, he's probably halfway gone and ready to orgasm. A woman dripping does not necessarily mean she's close to having an orgasm. When a man is ready to orgasm, in fact, most men have probably orgasm and the woman is like, I'm just starting. It is a common thing in marriage. Very few marriages have it, very few husbands and wives get to have orgasm at the same time. If I decide to ask everybody here if they've ever experienced simultaneous orgasm, I'm sure very few people will say yes, they have. It's not as if it doesn't happen, but it is because of the timing. So until you have pleasured your wife, and this is where oral sex comes in. I'm sure somebody is already shouting blood of Jesus. Yes, blood of Jesus, but we'll still talk about it. This is where oral sex comes in at this playthrough. There's a question I'm going to just answer once and for all on oral sex. Now, if you're going to have oral sex with your spouse, be sure that the both of you are clean and medically fit to go ahead with it. If your partner has any sort of disease, the fact that it is not entering your vagina or your penis is not entering does not mean you cannot contact it. As a matter of fact, oral herpes is that, in fact, it is fast to contact it from oral sex. Herpes, candida, thrush, all sorts. It can be, don't say because it's my mouth. No, I will not. No, uncle, daddy, mommy, if you lick plate, you will catch infection. In fact, it is faster to catch it from oral sex. But if both of you are clean, you can by all means go ahead. If your wife likes head, please. But mommy, please, before oral sex, rinse. Daddy, brush. Because there are germs in your mouth and in our vagina that must not interact. Brush your teeth, especially when you just finish eating suya. Don't give somebody's child pepper in their vagina or penis. So brush your teeth. Brush. Then go ahead and have oral sex. With oral sex, your wife, your husband is halfway there. I saw one post on Insta on couples therapy where the woman wrote that her husband always wants her to give him blowjob, but that her pastor said it is a sin. You see that your pastor, if I catch him, if I catch that your pastor, if that is what your husband likes, can two work together except they agree? And the moment you start seeing sex from the point of my partner's pleasure, you will not have an issue. If this is the only way to satisfy my partner, if you don't get your partner, your wife now, to the point where she's ready to orgasm before you penetrate, you will leave her hanging. The following morning, she will put more salt in your food. You will think she's because she made a mistake. She did not make a mistake. She's not happy. The pepper in your indomie will be too much. You will sneeze and be coffee. She will not give you water. It's because she's not happy. It is not because she made a mistake. She did not make a mistake. Uncle, that's your punishment because I did not sleep happy yesterday. Pleasure your wife. You are ready to come with no. Suck her boobs. Luckily for some women, they can come just by stimulating their nipples, just by you sucking their nipple. Go ahead, suck it. When she's close to having an orgasm, penetrate. Both of you can have climax together. When both of you climax together, that is another thing, or that's another level of bonding. Please don't rush to say you are baiting at that point. I know you are tempted to say, let's quickly. Enjoy the moment. Savor the moment. When you and your partner get to that point together, cuddle each other, then you will bait after. There's this sleep that comes immediately after sex that lasts for about, it might not be more than 5-10 minutes. You just know that you just find yourself sleeping. Then after a while, you wake up and like, oh, what happened? You can now carry each other. In fact, you see your husband carrying you to the bedroom, honey, let's go and bait. And please, at this point, if by any means you want to have you want to spice up, this is the point where after my excitement, now I'm going to share this. After my excitement period, that is when you see me, maybe my husband quickly had to make a call. I'll just step into the bathroom, then I will change into badass lingerie. So that just in case that call has made Uncle forget where we stopped, which is not something that cannot happen. It can happen. When a man just received while you were still in your excitement phase, he gets a call that takes him out of the mood. You need something that will quickly jolt him back down. This is where we stopped. That is where you will see me. I will quickly change into a lingerie. And when the man of God stepped back into the room, he's like, oh my God, what do we have here? And he has to respond to the call. We continue for where we stopped. When we finish, if a call comes at that point, I'm sure he won't take it again, because this thing I'm seeing is Mario. You know what they call? I'm sure our men know what Mario is. This is where I die this night. I will do this one before I take that call. It will wait. Present yourself as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable before your husband. Do not be shy, for the Bible said they were naked and they were not ashamed. So at this playful phase, please don't let anything alter or distract you. In fact, sometimes if for people that have kids and they are at home, when you have got to that excitement phase, you can just quickly check on your children, because they can come and knock when you have reached the play two. No, I don't want any at that play two phase. I don't want any distraction. Excitement phase, I quickly go out. The day my children grow up and they realize that this is what mommy used to do, or more, I pray they will not call me, mommy, so this is how you've been doing us. I'll just go out. Jewel, how are you? Does anybody need anything? Mommy, I want. I will just be giving them, because once I enter that room again, please don't knock on my door. At this playful phase, you are ready to go all out. So please pleasure your wife to get to the point where you are before you penetrate. And then we get to the orgasm, where you have badass sex. Please, I know we are Christians, but please give your wife patata. Anyhow, anywhere. We are coming now to the different sex styles. Please, if by any chance you are averse to seeing some things, you might want to, no, it's good you stay here so that you learn for your spouse. So we are going to the different, I wish my slides were coming up, so that people can see all these styles. I posted them, they have to, it's visual.
I'm going to share them now, ma.
Please, those styles, they need to see it, so that you can replace the regular missionary. Enough of missionary, let that style rest. You have tried, you've been married 15 years. The only style you and your wife knows is missionary. Mommy, lie down, daddy, lie down. Today we are going to learn different styles. So we start with the yabun. I'm sure we can see the picture. With the yabun, the man is sitting down and then he carries his wife on his laps to face him. With this, he has direct access to suck her breast while at it. For people whose wives, who their breast is connected to their vagina, that the moment you start sucking them, they can easily come. Please don't shy away. Suck their breasts and reduce the thrusts, because the more a man trusts, the faster he wants to come. So concentrate on sucking your woman's breast or massaging her back, because now she's facing you and her back, you have access to touch her back. Play with her back. Some people, the back of their neck is a high point for them. Play with it. Turn your wife on while you're at it. And before you know what is happening, she will get to the point where a point of no return. So we go to the cowgirl. Please, all people are taking all these notes and giving you serious. The cowgirl, please. And please, before we go too deep into these sex styles, I want us to realize the fact that our body parts are different. All penises are not the same size. Neither are vaginas the same size. So it is not all sex styles that can be particularized by everybody. If you have a big penis, please, I advise by all means, if possible, avoid doggy style. That's where your wife is kneeling and you are standing. We all know it. Let's stop. I don't want people that used to say that they don't. If you don't know it, in fact, I will call Pastor Sunday to do deliverance for you tomorrow. We know doggy style, so I will not describe doggy style. But for people who don't know, the wife is kneeling and the husband is kneeling behind her. If you have a big man penis, except you know that you will not trust too deep, doggy style isn't something you should do too often, because it can cause your wife pain if you trust too deep, especially if your wife is not this kind of person that has low cervix. So with low cervix or penis in two thrusts is already touching her cervix and can be causing her pain. But if she doesn't mind, some people associate pain and pleasure together. Please, by all means, and please, it is not wrong for your partner to like to associate sex with pain. Our sexual preferences are different and they must be respected without judgment. Once you start judging what your partner likes, like I mentioned earlier, it will affect your sexual life. Then we'll move to so with this cowgirl now, if you have a big penis, it is a good position for you, because in this position, your wife can control how deep your penis goes in her. So it is a very good style for if you have a big penis, and then with this, you can still have access to suck your wife's breast. It is a very good position for you. Please go ahead, and even if you have a small penis, it is good for you too, because your wife has total control of how you thrust, of how you move, and she can control the pace at which both of you go. So we move to the next style. Minister Ambonu, sorry, I'm spoiling our ears. So, and our pastors, Mommy Abiola, I saw where she wrote, really? Yes, Mommy, really. So we move to spooning. Please, this particular position, that's the next one. Please, for spooning, that's the third one. If you have a small penis, it might not be too advisable for you, particularly if you now have a partner who is always wet. You will experience in this position that your penis will constantly fall out. And as it falls out, you might keep getting aroused, but your wife's mood will keep dropping, because it has to, for a woman, it has to constantly build. So if you have a small penis and your wife is always wet, please, spooning is not advisable, but it is very good for someone who has a long and big penis, because yes, with this, your wife has total control of how deep you are inside her, and it is very much enjoyable. With this, you still have access to your wife's breast in front. Oh, ye breast lovers, it is something you will love. And then if you're an ass lover too, it's another advantage. You can also feel your wife's ass touching you at the back. So we'll move to the next one now, which is the side by side. Almost the same thing like the spooning, but just that in this case, both of you are facing each other. So with this, if you are a lover of kissing, there are men that can come just by kissing their wives, and there are women that can come just by kissing. This is a very good position for you. Kiss away. Just kiss yourself away. Keep kissing until you can kiss no more. Then with this, you have access to a breast. And also, this style is not advisable for someone that has a small penis because of how close you are. So if it is not long enough, you might not be able to penetrate your wife fully for maximum pleasure. So we move to the cross. This one is very good for people that don't have it too big, and also good for people that have it big. If you have it small, because your wife is crossing her legs over you directly, so your penis is directly into her vagina. So it is very good. You have access to her breast. But if I ask lover, sorry, you cannot touch bum on this type of style. It's only breast you can touch, and you can kiss, because she can also turn to face you, and both of you can still have maximum pleasure. If you have someone that has a big penis too, your wife can still control how deep you go, because her thighs are over you and she can control the thrust. So please, not every time missionary. We have another one. We have the lazy dog, yes. So this is a better alternative for doggy style. If you have it big, instead of the perfect kneeling down, your wife lies down and raises her hips up a bit. You can use a pillow to prop your wife to help her so that she doesn't get tired just laying down. You can use a pillow to prop her, and then you penetrate. And then several others, because I'm looking at our time. Mr. Amboni, how many minutes do I have more?
I think you can take the next 5 minutes if it's okay for you to wrap up, or 10 minutes max.
That's fine. So I have other styles. I have other styles right there, and we can screenshot them and just read up on them. So the last thing I want to talk about is sexual fantasies. It is healthy to have sexual fantasies, please. And don't judge your partner for having a sexual fantasy. I mentioned earlier that we need to spice up our sex life. And one of the ways we can spice up our sex life is by role playing. Have you ever tried dressing like Kamaka for your husband? Every time he's used to you as his wife. Have you tried dressing like his side chick? And then he comes to you, you're on heels, and he's wondering, whoa, who is this woman again? Role playing is a good thing. Or today, as it's called, people are having sex, you are saying allergy. Oh yeah, see, it is not just you can imagine, role play and say, today I am Nafidat to you. When your husband gets outside, he has seen all shades of woman in you. So what is left that he wants to see outside? To pretend that you are your wife's boyfriend. You are not her husband. Let her see another. Minister Obonu. She knows you as Minister Obonu. Let her see another Femi. Let her see a Yoruba demon today, and you're like, whoa, this is my. When she sees another Yoruba demon outside, it cannot freak her. So it is not unhealthy to have something called role playing. You can even wear laundry that makes you look like a prostitute, and you chew gum and you tell your name, you are paying me 100K for sex tonight. It is a way of spicing up your marriage. And trust me, when you ask your husband for money at that period, I will not say more than that. Now, some people, I mentioned earlier that some people associate pain with sex. Please let your spouse be free to talk to you about associating pain with them. That's all this BDSM. You buy rope. I think Papa has mentioned it before. You buy rope, you whip your husband, you chain him to the bed, and then the fear of you flogging him gets him. Please let your spouse be free to discuss their sexuality with you. This is how I want it today. Marriage is a place to bond and be free without judgment. If I can't share with my husband, if I can't share with my wife, who do I want to share it with? Is there an outsider that will take advantage of my emotional weakness? Some women find it easier to discuss this kind of things with a colleague at work. And that's why you find them being vulnerable with strangers. So it is healthy to have healthy fantasies. We talked about dirty talking. Has daddy ever done something for you and you are speaking in Yoruba? Okomidomi. My husband have sex with me. My vagina. It is not unhealthy. Tell him how it is doing you. I want it deeper. Deeper, baby. Don't stop. That is somebody's sexual fantasy. Somebody wants to go to on vacation. It is not out of place to say, I'm imagining having sex with my husband in a different location. Please, honey, we don't need to go too far. Don't worry. I will manage Nikon. I will manage Nikon luxury just one night there. And the way I want to have it is I want to shout until security is knocking on our door. Sorry, like that video that was posted. Sorry, somebody called us from here and they said you are disturbing the peace of the neighborhood. That is your own problem. Me, I just had an orgasm. I don't understand what you're talking about. So it is not unhealthy to want to have those. Please let your spouse be free to tell you how they feel. So, sexual fantasies involving food. Put ice cube on your wife's nipple and watch them grow hard and suck it. It is not unhealthy to do it. Put ice cream on his navel and lick it, or on his penis and lick it off like a lollipop or more. If you have not tried it before, please try it and come and thank me later. Put ice cream on uncle before giving him a blowjob and lick it off. I will not say more than that. It's not me that taught you. Okay, so to the last, as we wrap up, how often should couples have sex? We talked about this earlier. As often as you want it. People that are complaining that their husband likes sex morning, afternoon, and night, like that post that was sent on the platform. If you are not someone that likes sex often, how about to reach a compromise? You want it 4 times, but I don't like sex that often. Can we do 2 times instead? It is called compromise. If I love you, I should be able to make compromises. And when you start seeing sex for the pleasure of your partner, you get more interested in pleasing whoever you love. Just the way Jesus Christ is ready to go any length to please us because he loves us so much. And we desire sexual intimacy with him. Same way it should be with us. You can have sex any time of the day, anywhere, anyhow, as many times as possible, so long as both of you consent to it. Now, I mentioned the word consent for a reason. There is something called marital rape. I don't know if you have heard about it, but it's under the Criminal Code Act, I think section 327 thereabout of the Criminal Code Act. Marital rape, it is seen as a form of domestic violence. That a woman does not want sex because her husband forced her to have sex. Please, if you have done all these things that we listed since we started, the emotional bonding, the physical, the social and everything, and your wife is already ready to have you penetrate, can the place of rape come in any way? My answer is no. If you start seeing sex for the pleasure of your partner, you will not see sex as rape. You will not see it as a chore. Rather, you will see it as a way of you pleasing your partner. And you will do it with the whole of your heart, the whole of your mind. It's not something that we can do every day, but we have to be committed. We have to be intentional about having a healthy sex life. It is very, very important. So the last take home before I round up last is sex is for my husband's, for my partner's pleasure. Amos 3:3. Can two work together except they agree? I agree with my spouse today that sex is for your pleasure. And I pledge to make sure that I have sex with you on your terms. And you also take the same pledge with me. And trust me, it's going to be a bomb. With this at the back of every couple's mind, as sex is for my partner's pleasure, we are going to have nothing short of a healthy, intimate sexual lifestyle. Thank you very much. God bless us.
Whoa.
Thank you so much, Barr.
Whoa. Please, a round of applause. I have never been in this kind of session where we had 53 people from the beginning and 53 people after 1 hour, 30 minutes. Thank you so much, Ma. This is as raw can be. For some of us whose faith cannot carry it, please, you can pray to God this night for cleansing ahead of church tomorrow. But thank you so very much, Ma. I mean, this is real, and this is the best we can ever hear. As practical as possible with the required level of expertise. And from a very experiential point of view, thank you so very much, Ma. We are really, really grateful. We're not paying you for this. We know how much people pay for this thing. You said a whole lot, and I'm glad that you said you're going to share the slides. I have written a lot of notes, and my wife has been bombarding me with different messages. I only pity for those who didn't join this. I think without wasting much time, because we've really run a lot into the time, thank you so much, Ma. We have questions that have been written down before, but I think you've captured most of them, right? Oral sex, you talked about it. You talked about, libido, differences in libido and a whole lot. So I'm going to just mention a few questions here that you didn't touch on, and then people can drop message questions on the platform. If we have time, we can read. I think it's an adult class. When people get tired, they can drop off. So let's have a proper conversation, okay? It's better to talk about this thing and exhaust them as much as possible. We can aim to wrap up in the next 20 minutes. Okay, one of the biggest challenge or biggest question that is in people's mind, and also in my mind, if I will confess, is around the utilization of sex toys. I was in Las Vegas in 2022. I don't know what carried me to enter into Victoria's Secret world. And it took the grace of God for me to pull myself out of that place in the Victoria's Secret, because I saw all kinds of sex toys. And I was just asking, God help me. God help me. Some of us who have not been prepared for that kind of world. What would be your take on the use of sex toys? And I think the second question related to that is sex enhancement drugs. Okay, so people feel, oh, my libido is very low. I don't satisfy my wife, or I don't satisfy my husband, my sexual urge is very. Can I take some drugs? Maybe the ones that are safe. Are there side effects to this? So those two questions, and then we'll piggyback after that. I think somebody has said we're not complaining about time, so we die here, or we live here rather. Over to you, Ma.
Okay, before I answer my question, please, I want every one of us to have an open heart. We are adults and we need to start facing some certain realities when it comes to the use of sex toys. I said something a while ago. The fact that men can have multiple orgasms while their partners, their wives, they are not even close. And once a man has orgasm, the next thing he wants to do is to sleep. I also mentioned the second point, and that is about spicing up your sex life. Please, this is by no means enforcing what I think on anybody. It is my opinion. If you are talking about asking about from my perspective and on satisfying your partner, don't forget we also said sex is for my partner. So if sex is for your partner and you have orgasmed and she hasn't, my friend of 15 years has never had an orgasm until I had to mediate between her and her husband. Sex toys is a way you can spice up. Please don't quote me out of context. Out of context. Sex toys is a way you can spice up your marriage. The mistake we make when it comes to the use of sex toys is when you use it outside your partner and then you allow it to replace your partner. If both of us, we are well aware that my husband has issues with lasting in bed, and maybe he's also treating diabetes and hypertension, and as such, he has to be on certain medications that are also affecting him. We won't, because of that, say the wife should suffer sexually. That would be totally unfair. Because either which way, so far a man is able to, some men don't even need to penetrate and they will release and they are good. So what happens to this place of sex is for my partner's pleasure. So, but with the use of a sex toy, you can get your partner to that point before you penetrate her. But please, it has to be with your partner's consent. Don't buy sex toys without your partner's consent. And after you buy with his consent, never use outside your partner because it has a way of getting you addicted. And now when it is now time for both of you to have sex, you no longer look forward to it. The moment you get to that point, you have already started destroying the bond that sexual intimacy is supposed to bring. So the only way I can say you can go ahead is if your husband is not getting you to that point and both of you are able to talk about it. You are open about your sexual emotions. This is it. I know I'm not satisfying you. Can we get one? If it will even help you, your husband can keep it after use. He can use it on you during sexual acts. He can decide that he wants to even watch you using it while he's watching you. You can use it to spice up your sex life. But please don't use it alone to the point where you start leaving your partner out of your sex life. So that is my take on it. I don't have any spiritual back. I don't know if Mr. Chedu has seen a Bible passage for that. But what I read in my Bible is the fact that sex is for my partner's pleasure.
Who am I?
So if sex is my partner's pleasure, it means I'm at liberty. And I tell couples, I said, whatsoever you and I decide behind closed doors on our bed is what is acceptable to both of us on our bed. So
wow, thank you so much.
So on sex enhancement drugs, the way their drug works is that it increases your level of nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator. Our doctors in the house, I hope I'm trying, meaning that it makes your blood levels to widen to help increase the blood flow. So while you are doing this, and it's increasing your blood flow and you are doing, please, I said earlier, let's be sure you are, when you are coming, you are not going. So be careful with your dosage of using sex enhancement drug. If it is to enhance libido, yes, it is. Why not? By all means, because once a woman starts getting to the point menopause or perimenopausal, their libido starts dropping. And by all means, you need to start using supplements. I am on supplements because of perimenopausal. I am on supplements. So there are things you can use, but please be careful with your dosages so that you will not do sex to the grave, please. But they are good. They are advisable at a certain age in our life. That's what I think. But if you have issues with dizziness, because it can cause dizziness, some of them can cause dizziness, it can cause digestive issues. So if you start experiencing those, please see your doctor before you continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really interesting. Thank you so very much, Ma. So I'm looking at online. I'm not sure there's any question because people have said a lot, but somebody just said, you mustn't go, you must have gone to get Madame Son. Okay, I think it's just one of the comments. Still back to the questions we've collated before now. One of the questions is saying, how can a couple living in two different towns handle sexual intimacy? And I think this is a very, very common experience that people encounter, where you either travel a lot as a husband or as a wife, or you're living in different locations. So this could be more protracted than the usual, I've traveled for 1 week, 2 weeks, and I'm back. But how can they enjoy sexual intimacy from different locations?
Okay, thank you. Don't forget we said earlier that intimacy is beyond sex. That's the place of emotional connections. So what happens now is you don't have room for physical intimacy. We talked about spicing up your sex life. There is WhatsApp video. There is Skype. We are on Zoom. What happens to both of us watching each other while in the bathroom? It's an image of each other in our brain. It can stimulate us. And don't forget, we talked about, and we can also link this to sex toy. But yes, it has its advantages of getting hooked. But please, let's be realistic. I know we are Christians, but don't forget that there is no vacuum. So if you say that this one we are saying they should not do it, are you saying you approve of the person having extramaritals? Because there is no vacuum. So if I don't get to have a physical stimulation with my husband, something outside will stimulate me. So you can use Skype, you can use video, you can make video. Please before I go ahead, be sure of your partner. Don't make videos with someone whose level of IQ is lower than yours, or who is fond of using things against you. You know your partner. So what I'm saying is not a thumb on hard rule. If your partner is not emotionally matured, don't do it. Don't. The days when my husband used to be gone for like 2-3 months, in fact, at some point, you have to call me on. I'm not sure is my penis still working? And I will have to do video calls so that, okay, I'll let him see my body and to be sure that his body will respond. Because we need to keep each other in each other's subconscious. So you can make use of videos, make use of pictures, send him pictures to tell him your property is still here, I'm blossoming, I'm good. Send it to him. You can send a part of your breast without your face. Err on the side of caution. But being physically being apart does not mean you should deprive each other of emotional connection. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. I think we'll be able to take one more last question, and then we'll give room for people who want to come in physically. I know we've all been savoring this. I've been watching the attendance from 50, 51. It goes up, it comes down. It hasn't gone below 50. It means that this is a very burning issue. One of the biggest question that couples grapple with in marriage is how to handle a woman who is in her period, who is menstruating. Do you recommend anything to do in such instances? Is there a do or don't rule when it comes to a woman being on her period? And I think this is a live question that had come in from a spouse. So please attend to that, and then we'll open the floor for physical. For people online to ask questions, please. Over to you, Ma.
Okay, on having a sex with a woman on her period and what a man should do or not do. It is up to the both of you as a couple. If your wife does not mind having sex on her period, there is nothing wrong, at least from the research I've done, there is nothing wrong with having sex with your wife while she's on her period. In fact, if your wife is someone that ordinarily does not get wet, the period has gotten her wet. The thing that you should be aware of is the fact that it will be messy. It will be very messy. And don't forget that period, blood has a particular iron smell that comes with it. So if you don't mind, why not? You can decide to do this under the shower. That is a very good way. So while you are doing it, while you're having sex, the water is running down and washing it off. So you are not messing up your sheets. But if you decide that you want to have sex on your bed while your wife is on her period, please gather Macintosh, look for old towels that you're no longer using, lay them on your bed and have sex away, enjoy yourself. She's your wife. It is not something that is a taboo. No, it is okay. In fact, when your wife is on her period and you have sex and she gets to have an orgasm, she can, if she has an orgasm, it can shorten the days of her period because the contraction will push out the blood faster and she gets to complete her menses faster. So there's no myth or taboo that if you have sex with your wife, it will cause so. I'm not aware of that. Research hasn't shown any either. And on what to do when your wife is on her, what to do and when she's not, and what not to do, that depends solely on your wife. I can't tell you what your wife will need when she's on her period. So women are cranky, so they might need you to probably give them space. Some women have cramps, so they might need you to make them herbal tea. And while some men have it easy, you won't even know they're on their period. Everything boils down to the both of you understanding each other. It's based communication is the root of everything. Once you communicate your needs to each other, you understand each other. This is how we want it. This is the way we want to do it. Please enjoy yourself anyhow you want to. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, ma. This is really very helpful. Thank you, Dr. Legbel, for the comments. She says women can also lead their husband to their G-spots.
Yeah.
This can really help in making women have orgasm, especially for men who release fast. Thank you so much, ma. And I see there's a lot of things that are on the platform from Madam Whitney Foster. Can we open the floor right now for live question? I mean, we have all enjoyed this session. Let's bring our own real issues out here. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Our people say they don't use they don't use better eye to join cherubim and seraphim. It's either something is chasing you or you're chasing something. So please, except it's not an issue in your marriage, let's discuss it here. The floor is open for us. We'll spend the next 9 minutes for live questions and answers. So if you just want to speak, kindly unmute and comment. We wouldn't probably see your hand, but if you feel you can also indicate by raising your hand, that'll be fine. So the audience. Are we still shy? Or we've retreated already and started practical? Okay.
If anybody wants to unmute, please feel free.
Are you sure they've started wearing lingerie?
People are in practical session while we're still doing theory here. This is not fair now. See me, I'm standing here and my wife is in the parlor. It's not fair now.
She's coming already, don't worry. I think she's coming to
you can't go into practical when we're doing theory here. Please go ahead, ma.
Okay, good evening, ma.
Good evening, Mr. Honest.
Yes, ma. Thank you very much for such a fantastic section. I've learned so much today. And one of the questions I had in mind have also been answered, but I was just thinking of it again from a different angle. And it has to do with sex toy. So when we talk about sex toy, most times people look at it from the angle of maybe having it for the women. How about men? Is it okay for a man or for a couple to look at having a sex toy, I mean, both either for the man or for the woman or something?
Okay, sir. Can I go ahead, Mr. Amboni? Okay. So
please fire on, ma.
Well, luckily for you, sir, sex toys is not for women only. There are several types. If you Google sex toys, it will not bring only for men or for women. The sex toys are versatile. Even the one for a woman can be used on a man. It can be used to tickle your balls while you're using the same one you're using to tickle her clit and all of that while she's leading you all around her body. It can also be used on a man. So it's for both of you. Whatever works for the both of you, please, by all means. By all means. It's not really, it's not only for the woman. It's for both of you. There are things like cock rings, I think. Yeah, there are things like cock ring that men use.
Alice.
For the man, his wife is okay with it. Why not? Whatever is allowed behind your doors, both of you are permitted is for the both of you, and your marriage is still your bed is still undefiled. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so very much, Ma. This is really very helpful. Does anyone have additional question? But I think yes, those days I used to wonder if men had also sex toys. But I've seen loads of sex toys for men. As I said, I was in Las Vegas, and it took the grace of God for me to be pulled out of that place. Any other question? I think we can take one more.
Why did you need the grace of God to leave BS? Pastor Bonnie?
That's not even the question. How dare you use the grace of God?
So one thing we must bear in mind is that we're not on the same threshold in this matter.
Oh my goodness.
Some of us are still evolving. But besides that, apart from the sex toys, you know how they create the atmosphere. There were ladies there that were willing to help you. I mean, it's Las Vegas. They were willing to help you explore.
They'll be asking you what your wife
don't go to that place again. Please stop all
Amen.
appearances of evil.
Amen.
I have a question though.
Okay,
please go on with your question.
Thank you, Mrs. Idiagbonya. I can only just is it congratulate or just pity my brother Sam, my very quiet brother Sam, because I can just imagine. I'm just imagining you.
Me, please now.
I'm really, my ears have not heard this kind of talk like this. It was so open and so, down to the basics, and a lot of things that people shy away from that you don't want to talk about. If we cannot talk about it elsewhere, I think it's a good place to talk about it. And we all have to learn so that you're going nowhere, right? And we are 27 years. People still have some years to go. Yeah. Mommy and Daddy Johnson and they can still enjoy sex, even at their age, So, I'm really grateful for this. I joined late. I had issues, I wasn't hearing. But I took a stroll now to one plaza near me. I took it with me. Or people were just looking at me. I don't care. They were just looking. I took it with me, and they were hearing something. They would look at me. I'll just hear it straight. I just want a straight face, So I'm so happy to hear that, because the normal routine that a woman should have is like you have in the morning, like I commented. Mm-hmm. When I was in the university, my friends used to ask me, "Where are you going?" I said, "Nowhere. I'm going to bed." Why are you putting roll on? Why are you? I said, that's how I grew up. As a woman, you have to take care of your body. So I didn't even know that all these things will be necessary when I'm married. But I was already used to it. I was used to it. That's why I buy my roll-on in packs. I buy my body spray in packs because I use them a lot. I even cream my body when it is cold. I moisture my body when it is cold. I use perfume oil. That alone, the fragrance in the room alone, other thing. Let there be fragrance in your room.
Yes, ma'am.
Diffusers and all that.
Yes, ma'am. Create the atmosphere. Burn candles.
Take showers together. Take showers together. Take showers together. That's
Mommy, Daddy around.
That is around. He's even hearing me. But
no problem. You are covered, ma'am.
We now know why.
He's very shy.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
I think because of our time, we probably need to wrap up in the next 2 minutes. Is there anybody who has a very burning question or comment? I want to just unmute. Sorry, somebody saying something? Okay, yes. Madam Eva, please shoot.
Why are you calling me madam? Madam can bring this libido thing down. She's calling me madam. Chick, what happened to that?
Please, but he's not allowed to call her madam this night. Start toasting now. If not, nothing for you.
Please, my own personal question. I have two questions. One is not my own. The other one is first one is my own. So the first one is, maybe we have another talk on parenting or child birth. I want to have another child. My husband will not allow me. And the other one is 6 years old. And nobody's at home with me. They just have gone. How do I do? We are trying to trick him. He followed me to
Oh,
the
see,
fertility.
see me in private
I
for what?
tried to remove the property.
No, no,
And he just, they even sent him out. He told the nurse, he's not an assistant nurse, and stood by and did not allow me. And now, what do I, how do you advise me? How do I trick him to allow me? Just one more. That's my own. Then I have a lovely couple here. They are a Das family. Let's celebrate them. They just got married. They are both TBC couples in Kubwa, now in Warinfa. They came visiting. And a very interesting story they shared with us about their marriage. And the wife schools in Germany. She stays in Germany. She's a nurse, a very interesting lady, young lady at that. And the husband, Samedas, is an upcoming star gospel music artist. We did a lot of projects together, and I can tell you that he's really on fire for the Lord through the music industry. But that aside, so they're married. One is in Germany, the other one is here. And during the talk, in short, we were having dinner when the talk happened, and my husband says they should join. And somehow their needs were met while Dr. Idiagbonya went on and talked about, she touched on it a bit, when couples are apart. So, Sam, sorry, he's really willing to engage. So he says, would it be fine that when you said you can share intimate moments on using safe apps, social media that you trust, or any of such things, but sometimes is it okay to record these things, because as a nurse she could get busy, very busy, and he could be at that moment where he just needs his wife, he needs this young lady. And she, in the course of her work and the time zone differences, would it be okay to record the state, just go through them over, or would it be seen as criminal or biblical? So they need clarity on that. So I don't know who will take the question. After that, yeah, would you want to handle that, Dr. Funmi?
Okay. When you say criminal, I'm trying to understand criminal with who and before who. Please, I need them to answer. Maybe in Germany, is it illegal to have such recordings on your phone?
I'm thinking it might be around maybe is it criminal or privacy?
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm trying to.
Information protection and all of those.
Exactly.
I'm
so
thinking.
I need to know if it's not.
Or he can speak for himself. He's there.
If it's not about that, if it's just between the both of you, I don't see anything criminal.
No, it's not hard though.
Sammy, is there an explanation you need to do?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, so I was asking that, is it criminal in the country, or are you saying criminal between the both of you, or you meant privacy?
Yeah, between the both of us, being that, okay.
Please
while
sit down so I can see your face.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I said, because while I do the recording is not aware, or I have to take a consent first and get a permission to do that.
Okay, let me clarify now. Recording of your own body or your wife's body, are you doing it by yourself for yourself to send to your wife?
Okay, yes.
To send to your wife?
Yeah, let's say we're having a thing online, probably on WhatsApp.
Okay, and you record what you both are doing.
Record. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I wanted to clarify. Okay, without your wife's consent, it is criminal. Without your wife's consent, it is criminal, and there's a law with that, because you don't know if she wants you to record it. Make sure that you get your wife's consent. Why would you even want to do it without her consent if there's no ulterior motive? If it's me and my wife, and I want to record. Besides, when you get to record something, you never can tell. God forbid your phone has an issue and you get to take it for repairs, and the person repairing needs your password while you are not there, and they get to have access to the videos on your phone. and your wife gets to know that somebody else saw a video and she's not even aware that you have it. I've seen issues where people even record their partners while sleeping and she's not aware. It shouldn't be done at all, please. Don't make recording of your partner without your partner's consent. And I am not a fan of doing video recordings of each other. Sexually explicit recordings. I am not a fan of it. Anything can go wrong. We are seeing everywhere, leaking videos of people having sex, and they're not even aware while the recordings were being done. So please, no, don't do it without your partner's consent. And please do not even do the recording. If you need your wife, send her a message. And please, we should have the discipline to wait for our partner when they are ready. You have time differences. Both of you should have an agreement about a time that both of you will come together. If it's 6 hours, both of you should cut it 3 hours in between. Have a meeting point. It's something you both should be willing to do for a marriage. And the fact that the marriage is even a very young marriage, you both need to be very intentional, please. So that's my own 2 cents. Please don't.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. I think it's at this point we draw the curtain.
We have not drawn.
Please, one last question.
My own.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Bear with me, sir.
Okay, sorry. My darling wife is saying they've not answered her question.
Okay, sorry.
She should see me in private. She should see me in private for her own.
And then charge her consultancy.
She should see me in private for her own. If I say it, she will not allow you now.
And charge Pastor Chinedu.
Yes, sir. I agree, sir.
That's double charging. Pastor Lu will be coming.
Come back to you. Okay, but please, I just wanted to raise a question. One of the questions that was sent in goes thus. Please, if she can handle it, it will really be wonderful.
Okay,
husband sex with other ladies and masturbates. He does not last in bed with wife. He is ashamed of the sexting and masturbation, but it seems he is addicted already. What can be done? I don't know if I was heard.
Yes.
Yeah, sure, we did hear you. Go ahead, ma.
So, okay, so let me say this. The book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 15, chapter 6, verse 25 to 29. And it says, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyes. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulterers will hunt for the precious life. Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burnt? It says in 29, don't go unto thy neighbor's wife. Now, where I'm going to this is chapter 20, is verse 25. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart. Please, I'm not being judgmental, but we need to say it the way it is. The fact that you are already doing one thing is why you are not satisfying your wife. Sex bonds 2 people, not one person and images or one person and other people. Let the breast of your wife satisfy you.
Satisfy you.
So, adultery is not until you're having sex with somebody else other than your spouse. It starts from your heart. And that is why the Bible said, lust not after. It is the moment you start lust after somebody to the point where you are masturbating to that person's picture, you're already committing adultery. And if you don't stop it, your wife will be sexually frustrated. Now, he needs help. And the only help he needs right now, first, his wife should not judge him. He needs help, and the best help is he should see a therapist. He needs his mind to be debugged. Something has gone wrong, either from the first time he had sex. Don't forget that the way we had our first sex usually is what we tend to build our sex around. So it's possible that the first time he ever had sex, that was how he went, probably looking at somebody, and then he came in his mind. So he needs help. You are the first help he needs. then he needs to see a therapist who would now help him to redirect and rechannel his thoughts to see whatever he's seen in those states. He needs to start seeing it in his wife. And it's a conscious thing he has to do by himself. If he's not ready to stop it, even if he sees a therapist today, he will still do the same thing. And if your wife is sexually frustrated, don't cry foul if she has a reason to do something that you will not be happy about. Don't forget, sex is for your partner's pleasure. That we said that earlier, and I've been hammering on it. But the day you start seeing that sex is for your partner's pleasure, other things, other ladies that you are sex chatting with, they would not make sense to you because they are not your partner. Don't forget, marriage is a three-cord strand that cannot be broken. God, you, and your wife. Yeah. So once you start bringing somebody else into the place of your wife, sexually, you are frustrating that woman. And a woman that is sexually frustrated, you don't want to see her venom. But I'm seeing that he needs help. So please let him see a therapist. And you also help him prayerfully. And he needs to be ready to also break the addiction of masturbation, because masturbation is an addiction that needs to be broken prayerfully. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. Addiction, masturbation is an addiction. There's a lot of quotes that have come out of this session today. We've taken as much notes as possible. Time will fail us to do a summary of what has happened here today. But just to say thank you so very much, Ma. I only pity those who couldn't make it. But we have the recording and we're going to drop it on the platform. But you know how this thing is. It's much more interesting when we have this conversation. Thank you so much. This is the best session I've ever had on the subject. Sorry, Vice Olubu, we want to come in.
Just something quickly, please. She referred to the need for a counselor, a therapist. Yeah. And we also have a clinical psychologist in our team. We have the medical league actually has a whole team of counselors. So please, if you need professional help, please reach out to the medical team. Dr. Babatunde, of course, Mr. Harry leads the team of psychologists. So please, you have a whole team. You're not alone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ma. I was going to ask her consent if it was okay for people to also engage her. But I'm glad that you flagged this, Ma. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much to everyone who has stayed glued to their screen. It means that this has been very helpful. We only had a few people drop off from when we started to when we end, and we exceeded by over 30 minutes. Because we plan to do this 1 hour, 30 minutes max. We're already 2 hours, 10 minutes gone. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you so much, Ma. We really appreciate you and your hobby for the amazing work you're doing. We have lots of elders in the house. Thank you so much, the Johnson and the elder Accommodates. Thank you so much, sir and Ma. We're grateful for your participation. Thank you to everyone who has participated here today. We're going to drop a brief of the summary on the platform, and also with our consent, drop the slide as well as the recording. Do enjoy the rest of the night, and until next time, we will bring another series. God bless you, and see you in church tomorrow for those that will be coming physically. Good night from me.
Good night, sir. Thank you so very much, sir. Bye.
Good night, sir. Good night, everyone.
Good night, sirs. Good night, sirs. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Night, night.
Good night, everyone. Good night. Lovely, lovely session. Good night.
Minister Aluyambo.
Yes, please.
Please don't lay hands on me to talk tomorrow.
Yeah. I
can't expect to see you tomorrow now.
Yeah, you go teach something.
Deliverance. Complete session.
You have to come church tomorrow now.
Thank you so very much.
Fire.
You're welcome, sir. Please send me well to my love.
She's here. I'll say hello.
I'm still,
You're still putting.
I love. Good
Lovely.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so very much. Now we are going to practical.
Please proceed to practical in the Hausa room.
Yes, so proceed to practical.
About how we about sorry, I didn't know when Pastor was talking. I've been seeing that person will look like that boy. I be want to go give and start. If I start again for my father-in-law, I will kill him. I would look like to say no be because why go there, go stop.
I was just
Now Capo tell me go there.
Is that getting?
I thought to get 2 6. Return the stew to the pot. Wow, they are still in 2 plates. Maybe over it. If the medicine is not here, I was in the other something. Huh? It's in the other. Please, sorry. What did you eat? My medicine first. What did you eat? Hmm? I'm going to take plenty of water. Take plenty water. The water overeating or maybe you take too much.
People have a lot of nice things to say about you in your bed. She took care of me. She protected my life. Get tired of hearing all about this. You really can't do the same thing. Truma.
Not just sleep. They be what?
should just give them some time. And we have a process to be done. Bachelor. So, just a time. You're not supposed to talk to that. Bachelor. Who expects me to see you like this? Stop with me. No. You should throw me out like that. Just play the why. Stop that. Your own stuff.
Please, what would I do? Do you have the white ones we normally use for wrapping? Please bring some. I'm going to use some.